Hi, everybody. We're back after our longest break ever, and
We're back, and we're not black.
every bit of
But
which,
every cop should be black.
every bit of which, right? Well, we're not getting back into that, but every bit of which should have been on tape because we're funny. We're funny. It turns out that we're funny.
Let's not get the ego going crazy.
It's not an ego thing. It's just
Now that we have 4 fucking listeners, you don't want to get over. Don't get zealous, Al.
well, since I moved it to another page, we have 5 listeners. Joe, 5.
Get out. There's 5?
That's 20% more than 4, or 25% if you want to
That's almost like half a dozen.
work it the other way. So anyway, I just want to finish the men behaving badly thing. We talked about Louis C.K. kinda. That's fine. It sounds like he fingered somebody.
He didn't rape anybody. He didn't.
He might have fingered her.
I don't think there was he just, he did some inappropriate shit in front of women. I don't know,
Yeah. All right.
I don't know. Look, I guess you're not supposed to. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But then again, don't go to the fucking guy's room. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, what are you expecting when you go up there? But that's not
He
an
probably
excuse
thinks
for
he's
his.
getting laid.
That's not his. That's not an
Look,
excuse for his fucking behavior.
No, it's not. But you know something? And this is, any female listener. If you go to a guy, no matter, unless it's your brother, and even then, it's iffy. But if you go up to a guy's hotel room, he's basically thinking he's getting laid. And I'm sorry, but that's the truth. I mean, unless, it's a very good friend or that you've known forever or your brother. But other than that, guy's pretty much thinking he's going to bang.
It doesn't excuse him from believing
No,
that he can do whatever the fuck you want.
It does not excuse anyone.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's kind of the truth of it.
I am a Louis C.K. fan.
I love him.
Yeah, he's very funny. His TV show is excellent. His stand-up is excellent. His politics are diametrically opposed to mine. We're about the same age. Right now, and I know we fucking dumped COTW, but Louis C.K. is officially my pick for someone who fucking needs to die, and
No.
he has to watch his fucking children die of fucking leukemia first before he dies painfully. Louis C.K. sucks.
No.
You suck.
I'm
suck.
not on board with that. That's terrible.
Why?
Because, no, he
And
doesn't.
the only reason why I'm wishing that on him is he still has preteen and early teen children.
He doesn't.
The most precious,
No,
precious
this doesn't warrant
children.
that. He didn't even rape anybody.
I want Louis C.K.'s precious children
He had sexual misconduct. That's not
to somehow contract
sexual
leukemia.
misconduct is like, saying things. It's words and doing things like whipping your hog out.
Louis C.K. obviously does not know the difference.
We don't want to go there, Al.
Does he know the difference between wrong and right?
I believe he does.
He does not know the difference between wrong and right.
He does. I believe he does. And I like Louis, and I don't think he doesn't rise to the level of wishing that his children get leukemia and he has to watch them die, and then he dies from a painful disease. Is that for Tuesday or Thursday?
It doesn't fucking matter because I wanted a whole 2 thing. I wanted 2 things. I wanted one on Tuesday and
I
one
can
on
think
Thursday.
of another thing that
you
doesn't
took away
involve
cunt of the
this-
week. You took away cunt of the week.
Yeah, well, ladies, we're trying to get a word away from the word cunt
Right.
because it's we know you're offended. Even though if you go into the British,
We're working it out.
the British use the C word all the time, and it's used more. It's more offensive to use the F word than the C word.
I'm having a hard time letting go of cunt of the week, even though it's been a while. We haven't done it since in way over a month. Like maybe
Well, we can
Way over a
follow.
month.
How about if we mimic Larry Flint and do the asshole of the week.
I was gonna say, can we do something else so I can get away from, All right, so maybe Louis C.K. isn't a really good fucking candidate, but
No,
he's just
no,
as good as any.
no.
Is what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking at my list, and Kevin Spacey might have to fucking die too, but he doesn't have kids. So the thing is with
Is there more shit that came out about him?
Kevin Spacey,
Yes.
oh, he's all done. I mean, they're fucking left and right. He's lost everything. There's a movie in fucking almost post production that they're fucking. Well, he had
They're bagging it?
the Netflix thing, but he had a movie, and I can't wait to see this movie. But you know who Christopher Plummer is? He's got to be in his mid-70s.
Yeah, fucking awesome actor.
But he's
awesome.
But he's replacing Spacey, who's like my age or a little older.
Yeah, I don't see that.
He's like 53, 50. But Christopher Plummer is replacing him in a movie that they got stills out from the fucking thing. They got to reshoot everything.
No shit.
Everybody fired Kevin Spacey.
No shit.
Which brings me to
You can't fuck kids.
men behaving badly.
Well,
is
you
what
can't
we're talking
fuck
about.
kids.
Well, you can't. Well, here we go. Charlie Sheen and Corey Haim. Have you heard this story yet today?
No.
This-
no, tell me, because I loved, I really
Type it in while
enjoyed-
I'm talking, because I'm going to talk for a while.
No, I'm going to listen to you.
All right. Well, type it. You can do both. I'd rather you typed it in.
All right, I'll type it in.
So here we go. Put in Charlie Sheen, Corey Haim, or just Charlie Sheen or Corey. It doesn't matter. So here's the thing. It turns out that Corey Feldman, Corey Haim's friend there, had alluded to this in some shit, and somebody else and a bunch of people used to talk about it. Well, it finally came out, however it came out, that Corey Haim was sodomized by Charlie Sheen in like 86 or 87 when Corey Haim was 13, 14 and Charlie Sheen was 18, 19, something like that. So, I mean,
Now, does sodomize mean fuck him in the ass or getting blown?
either of those. It can be either. It's
Really?
either. Yeah.
It's
either.
They need a different word.
Well, no, yeah,
they're
needs,
wildly
it needs
different
clarification. They're not. What they're
What do you
saying.
mean? Sticking the dick in a kid's ass?
Sodomize just means basically any unnatural act. So, like, listen, anything that has to do with cocksuckery, it doesn't have to be a guy on guy. If a woman is sucking a guy's cock, it's considered sodomy. If a guy is sucking another guy's cock, it's sodomy.
How about if
sodomy is anything unnatural?
How about if you suck your own cock?
I mean, that's pretty unnatural.
Say
I mean, I can't do.
Say you're really getting into the yoga and shit, and all of a sudden you go, "Holy shit, I can suck my own dick."
Can I get really heavy, deep, and real here?
Imagine if you could get your balls into your own mouth.
I can't. I can't. Listen,
I'll
this is going to be right in the "you can't make this shit up" fucking category.
go ahead.
Did
you suck your own dick?
No.
It's okay. You can tell us.
I often have dreams that I can suck my own dick.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Have you ever had that dream?
No.
Are you a dreamer?
Oh, God, yeah.
Do you consider yourself a dreamer?
Yes.
Are you able to?
Usually when I'm not drunk, I dream really well.
Are you able to, in your opinion, control what happens to yourself within certain very vivid dreams? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I am a vivid dreamer, and I like that about myself. I started life as a nightmare haver. When I was a young child, I had really bad recurring nightmares, basically about being beaten by like superheroes and shit like that. And it's because my father beat the shit out of me. That's why I had those dreams. But
he did it out of love, Al.
That's fine. But I am heavily invested in you know how you say you know a little about a little, a lot about a lot. I know a lot about dream. What's the word? I'm fucking
like the people that you tell they read dreams. And,
I know all about dreams.
Meaning to
I know
it.
about what they mean. I know about interpreting dreams, dream interpretation.
Sure.
You know what I mean? From all different aspects. From Freudian aspects and from bullshit fucking new age fucking aspects. I know about dream interpretation, and I have my own I have my own thoughts about it, and the only reason is because I've been a vivid dreamer my whole life. Dreams that have affected me both negatively and positively. You know what I mean? Lately, I'm having a lot of positive dreams, and I think it has to do with how active is your brain. I'm not saying I'm smart. What I'm saying is,
I'm saying you're smart.
I have a wildly active brain. My brain, and I was trying to explain this to my wife the other night. I need 8 hours of, what I need is 8 hours of shut off time every night. And I don't often get that. What I get is 1 or 2 hours. I might get some sleep, but my fucking mind is always on, and it's disturbing. I think about stuff in my sleep, and I suss shit out in my sleep. I figure stuff out while I'm sleeping. That's how much my brain. Case in point, last night I thought about a lot of shit about, pricing these big jobs.
Now, sucking your own dick wasn't in there?
Not last night, but it has been in there recently. So we'll get back to that. I'm pretty sure that all that means is I wish I had a big dick. I think that what that is saying, I dream about sucking my own dick because I can't. I can't reach my dick. A, I'm not that flexible.
Hey, have
and B, my prick is pathetically short.
Have you had one of those
pretty
dreams
thick,
where
it's pretty thick, though.
You wake up, but you really didn't wake up?
All the time. All the time.
Those are.
So you have those too?
Yes.
Aren't those the best, though? Those are the best.
They are, but they're weird because you wake up and you go, oh, my fucking God.
Did you ever do...
I'm real... Like, I'll have a dream like a fucking house I'm building burnt down or something.
Yeah.
And then I wake up and I'm going, oh, wait a minute. It really did happen.
I wonder if everybody has that or if it's just us fucking mental dudes.
I'm guessing everybody.
You think so?
At some point has. Sure.
Do they pay attention enough, though? I'm really interested in the whole dream thing.
Well, not The Walking Dead. Or as...
Well, you're talking about 95% of the population.
Charlie Murphy used to talk about high-functioning retards.
Yeah.
It was one of his acts.
Can't do that. You can't do that with your hands.
Oh, I can't fuck with the...
It's really loud. It's real. So you want me to get you a squeezy ball?
No.
You need a squeezy ball.
No.
Okay. Sorry, buddy.
Charlie Murphy, God rest his soul, or if you don't believe it, God, somebody of a higher power rest his soul. But he
Charlie
talked
Murphy's
about
dead.
high-functioning retards. And it was one of the funniest things I ever heard of, and I believe it's true. But no, I want you to continue here with the Charlie Sheen thing.
Oh, well, I mean, basically what it boils down to is multiple sources have claimed and confirmed, everybody else's fucking stories. We're talking like 6 people or more have basically said that Charlie Sheen stuck his fucking cock in this kid's fucking mouth or ass when they were filming that, and they fucking had a couple other encounters, and that it basically ruined Corey Haim's life. Now, if you remember...
The kid's dead.
Well, he died at 38. I think he died in 2012. I haven't done the math, and I don't have... My computer's dead. My internet computer's dead. I don't care.
I'll find out when he died.
Corey Haim, I believe, died in 2012 at the age of 38. Don't ask me why I know that, because I'm a savant, all right? And he didn't die of anything. He died of pneumonia.
2010.
Oh, wow. So I'm not a savant. I'm kind of a moron.
He's Canadian. I didn't know he was Canadian.
Yeah, well, who isn't? And he's friends with that other fucking Corey kid, the widow Feldman, they called him, after Corey Haim died. So, all right, so the kid died 7 years. Yeah, he's 45. I think fucking Feldman might be 47, 48, 49, right? He was a couple years older than him. The bottom line is that these guys were troubled kids who did a lot of drugs and know about the casting couch. Corey Feldman has been hinting around for, I don't know if it's been years or months, about naming people about all this shit. And Corey Feldman got fucked in his ass. Corey Haim got fucked in their ass. And they both, I don't think Corey Haim ever got over it. Corey Feldman has kind of got over it. But it turns out that Charlie Sheen is, who knew? a sexual predator.
Charlie?
So maybe Charlie
No.
Sheen, not only does he have AIDS, and he's probably spread it around, and he's had it way longer. He had it for like 3, 4, 5 years before he fucking told everybody, by the way.
Well, and that wife he had,
Denise Richards, a hot piece of
she's
ass.
really hot, but she's a fucking pig.
You think she's a pig?
Oh, she's a fucking
She was
pig.
Richie Sambora or somebody, right?
Oh, I think she'd fuck anybody.
Richie Sambora,
I
who
shouldn't
fucking
say that.
apparently has a bigger cock than either Kid Rock or Tommy Lee or Milton Berle.
But
Apparently, Richie Sambora is the biggest in the business.
Peggy, I don't keep track of that. But I guess what the fuck's her name again? Denise Richards.
Yeah.
Who was in that movie with
By the way,
Matt Dillon.
I fucked her and she just laid there.
Really?
Yeah.
She kind of a boring.
She didn't
lady.
even move her ass or anything. I mean, she didn't even squirm.
Well,
Nothing.
didn't you drug her first?
No, she didn't make a peep.
But Denise is, I don't know. She's kind of I think she's a horrid person.
You think so? I
Yeah.
don't get that. I don't get that.
Yeah,
Why?
I watched a
Why?
little bit of
Why?
because
Why?
I
Why?
watched a little bit of the
Is she more hard than Charlie?
no. Well, Charlie's.
He's awful. He's the worst kind
You
of
would
person.
think that Martin Sheen
Clearly,
would
Martin.
grab fucking Charlie and smack the shit out of him.
Clearly, Martin Sheen fingered Charlie at some point in his early fucking
Yeah,
youth.
well, these people are fucking they're strange. They live different lives
Yeah.
than most people.
I'm telling you, Martin Sheen fingered Charlie Sheen when he was a kid.
How about Emilio? Think Charlie was his favorite, and he fingered
I don't
Charlie
know.
and not Emilio.
Those guys are close in age, and why do they have different last names that close in age? And they have the same mama and everything. Oh, because one took the stage name and one kept the.
Well, no, Sheen is.
How do you get Sheen out of Estevez?
Estevez is
The name. That's his
Isn't
name.
Estevez the mom's maiden name?
Estevez is Martin Sheen's name.
Oh well, then I don't know.
That his name is Mario Estevez. Or
Maybe
something
the
like that.
mom's last name was Sheen. I don't know.
No. I don't know how they came up with Sheen. Fucking Google. How do you come up with Sheen? How do you get Sheen out of Estevez? You know what
I
I'm
don't know.
saying?
It doesn't matter.
So we've talked about Louis C.K. He sucks. We talked about your boy Roy Moore, and we talked
He's
about.
not my. Why do you say he's my? He's not my fucking boy.
I don't know. It's funny. It's
Ten
funny.
Commandment Roy.
It's like when I used to tell my ex. I used to always refer to 43 as your boy. And she hates. I mean, she would roll her eyes. George Bush used to make my ex throw up, literally. You know what I mean?
Corey Feldman is 46.
All right, so in
Not much.
2010 he would have been. Let's do the math. Oh, so he's a year older than Corey Haim. All right. By the way, I have a feeling that Corey Haim's fucking mouth at some point was filled with Corey fucking Feldman's cock too. I really do. I think there was a lot of that going on too.
Well-
All these kids are all out of their fucking mind, you know.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of struggle going on, even to this day.
Yeah, I mean a lot. You know, it's real hard to be pretty and young in Hollywood, and boy, you know,
well,
again,
you're
the whole-
a childhood. You become a star, which Corey Feldman did,
yeah.
and then no one gives a fuck anymore,
Yeah.
and that's got to be tough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough for adults who started, who became famous when they were an
And-
adult, and nobody gives a fuck.
And at the
But when you're a kid,
And by the way, at the end of the day, I mean, these kids didn't get cast in this shit just because they were pretty. If you're fucking that young, 12, 13, 14, you got to have some fucking natural acumen for acting, or they're not going to put you in there. They're not going to put you in there because you look pretty. You got to be able to act. Now, maybe acting's not that hard, but I got a feeling that not everybody can act. You know what I mean? So these kids had some serious, serious talent. You know,
I think that whole business attracts scumbags on a level that you can't fucking imagine.
why?
Because it just
Or why do
does.
you think that is? Why do you think? What?
Because
why?
it puts. Because what you're doing is, it's you're. Here is a business where it's 100% about what you look like and sound like. and your behavior.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where that's how you're judged and that's how you're hired and fired. Unlike any other business where that would be discriminatory. You know what I mean? Like, you can't say if somebody comes in for a bank job, you can't say, well, you know what, Louis or Louise, you're fucking, you're fat and you had breast cancer and you're missing a tit. We can't use you.
Right.
You know what I mean? That would be a discrimination suit. But in Hollywood, it's all so you can bring as many people in as you want, and you can, and if you've got it's all a power thing. It's about looks and superficial shit.
Right.
And it attracts people that are moral. Obviously, it attracts a lot of people that are fucking morally bankrupt.
Yeah.
Like a Harvey Weinstein. Obviously, this guy is fucking just bankrupt.
I mean, if you know how to take advantage enough of people and systems and situations to get ahead in life and figure out a way to make a fucking huge buck, you gotta be a smart and almost sinister fucking person. You gotta be able to step on the little guy and fuck everybody else. And that's the fucking deal. And it's kind of the same with these guys who are sexually predatory. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? Anybody that's successful has to step on people to become successful?
For the most part.
No, that's not true.
I mean, so right now, tell me someone who never stepped on anybody who's mega successful. Tell me who? And
Who has never stepped on?
Who never fucking, and honestly, someone who just altruistically fucking worked their way to the top. Who was it? You don't think Bill Gates or fucking? By the way, Speaking of which, the fucking fucking what's his name? Justin Timberlake played him in the Facebook movie. Sean, what's his face? The kid who was
Sean Parker.
Sean Parker, the original president of Facebook. I mean, he didn't find it. Whatever. It was a whole fucking deal because he was on the internet. Anyway, he came out today and said that Facebook intentionally. Was designed to prey on serotonin levels and acceptance and all that shit. It was designed to do that, and that it's negatively affecting children, and he thinks that it's negatively affecting the fucking progress of mankind. That Facebook is actually altering the course of history and the course of mankind and how people deal with each other.
Well, I would put some credibility into the fact that it's you have to get it very scientific. And let me explain something.
Sean Parker, right? Sean Parker?
Now, was Sean Parker saying this, or what's his name saying this? Because Sean Parker owns like 6% of Facebook.
Well, he still does, but he doesn't work. He doesn't work there. He doesn't report there.
All right.
He's got a cut, but he can say whatever he wants.
So at any rate,
I mean, 6% of fucking, a couple fucking whatever billion is, or fucking scores of billion. I mean, what's Facebook worth? It's got to be worth. Is it half $1 trillion? Half $1 trillion?
$400 billion.
That sounds like a half $1 trillion to me. So, I mean, 6% at the end of the day is a lot of money, but what do they care? What do they care? What do they care?
You got to understand that Facebook is
talking about a lot of money.
Of course it's having an effect.
At first, I thought it was a miracle. Now I think it might be the downfall of society. That and texting. Texting is the downfall of fucking modern society.
I don't think any one thing's going to be the downfall.
Yeah.
And I think in a way it's all of this stuff will work itself out. And
I love Facebook. I love it.
Well, I had a Facebook account and deleted it.
It's gay. It's gay.
It's not gay. It's just not for me. I'll just put it that way. I mean, it's a good tool to find people.
It is a valuable resource
after I got
for a lot of things.
Yeah,
for a lot of things.
When
you can think about it for a lot of
people,
things.
And I've
finding people first and foremost.
I have a stealth Facebook account that I use just to go on and look for people.
Oh,
like
cool.
if I think of somebody's, if I think of somebody, geez, I wonder what happened to this guy.
You got like a fake name?
Oh, yeah.
Like Leonardo DiCapricock or something like that? Fucking Burnler, fucking something.
I don't want to be friends
Joe
with
Burnler.
anybody.
Yeah, no, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And I'm into it. I like it. Only because I express myself on it. And I have to say, I understand what Sean Parker was saying because I actually get a fucking really good rush of serotonin when I write something and 47 people respond positively to it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
I love it.
See, I respond.
It makes me feel good.
I feel better when I get a negative response.
Well, I like that too.
I wonder what that kind of.
If I'm torturing liberals, then I want negative responses. You're right. That's called trolling. That's the very definition of trolling. That's
Hundreds of illegals rage in Senate.
huh?
You know,
In the U.S. Senate, they what?
what a country we have. You know, everybody thinks this country's barbaric towards the
It's
illegal
not.
immigrants.
It's not.
You go anywhere else in the world,
Everybody's getting shot.
and go into, their parliament or Senate or whatever they got going on, and they'll fucking kill you. Or at the very least, you'll be on the next plane to wherever you came from.
Right.
So this is one hell of a country.
It's the best country in the I mean, maybe if you were a Roman during the heyday of the Roman Empire, but you know what? They didn't have indoor plumbing and, fucking whiskey. So, I'm thinking that they didn't have it as good as we do, but, they were on to something. Again, guys with big brains.
Well, they did it for 500
Big
500
brain.
years or so. And then,
Yeah, but like we said before, the official Julius Caesar was the first official Roman emperor, but Roman culture and the culture that became the Roman Empire lasted 1,000 years before Julius Caesar. You know what I mean? We've talked about this before. I know what you're saying.
Yes.
I know what you're saying, but their whole culture was amazing. That's what all of this, we've talked about it. All of this is because of the Romans.
well,
all of it.
The United States is it's a good country.
The United
But
States is
compared.
great.
Here's how you have to define
It's
good.
way bigger than the Roman Empire, by the way.
You define good like this.
You know,
It's better than most other countries. And
it's better than all other countries.
well, there
Name
are
a place
some,
better. Where do you want to live? Where do
there
you
are
want to
some
live?
countries that have 5 million people where everybody lives better than people in the United States.
Like what? Iceland? You want to live in Iceland?
Well, no, Iceland has 300,000.
What are you
people.
talking about?
But you can go to Sweden. Everybody lives it. But then again, everybody's fucking Swedish.
You want to live in Sweden? Where everybody can, I
No.
believe, first
No,
of all,
no, I
once
don't know.
again,
I don't
listen,
know.
I
I'd
never
probably-
call,
I wouldn't mind living in Sweden.
fucking
quite
never
frankly.
call you out on anything ever. Listen, look it up. What country in the fucking world has the highest suicide rate? It's Sweden. Look
Is it
up.
really?
Yeah, it's Sweden.
Well,
That's all I need to know. I'm not moving to Sweden. It has the highest suicide rate in the entire world. And I'm not talking about the civilized fucking world. I'm not talking about the northern hemisphere, the western, fucking whatever the fuck. Nowhere in the world do more people,
here's where
percentage-wise, commit suicide than Sweden.
Here's
You're
where I'm
saying you
going.
want to move there.
I'm not saying I want to move there, and I use it as an example of maybe
Once
that
again,
people do better.
Once again, talking
But
right
then
out of
again-
your asshole.
Yeah,
Right out of your
I don't-
ass.
I make this shit up. I don't know what I'm.
Can you
fucking
imagine
talking
if
about.
your father and my father actually recorded their conversations 40 years ago? It would probably sound a lot like this.
I don't know.
Although they're not as smart as me and you. Your dad's smart and my dad's smart, but neither of them are funny. That's the thing. Neither of them are funny. We're funny. They're smart. My
You
dad's
know-
smart, but he's not funny.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Dad, I love you. You're not funny. Big Joe, I'm really hoping
Your father might.
one day somebody will
be
turn you
listening
on to
to
this
you.
show. My father listens to every show.
Now listen.
He's not funny.
Let me get down with
Well, he's fun.
before I lose my thought.
He used to be funny.
The United States is a very good country,
It's the best country in the history of the
and
world.
I'll go along with that, and we have plenty of room for improvement.
Yeah, of course. No, nothing's
Being
perfect.
the best doesn't mean that
no such
you've reached Valhalla.
Yeah,
You
no,
need
there's no
to-
such thing as Yeah, I got you.
There's always room for
It's
improvement.
pretty good. It's 99.99% fucking good as
And
far as I'm concerned.
for the most part, the United States does improve upon itself
Yeah,
as the years go by.
absolutely.
I mean, race relations
And that's
are not,
because of the peaceful
not the
transition of
best.
power. The peaceful transition of power.
I don't know about that.
The peaceful transition of power is it's like a
But
chicken
it's
and the
better.
egg thing. I know what you're saying.
Things get better as time goes on.
Yeah.
I believe that. I believe it's better today than it was
I'm with you.
20 years ago or 40 years
Yeah,
ago.
we've had some downtimes. You know, this is a dip. If you want to look at everything in a real line, I mean, you got to look at it in a long perspective. But yeah, you know, we had some lean times there. Fucking
and we got
9,
some,
10 years,
issues
9, 8, 7 years
where
ago.
our government isn't functioning because people are too much into being famous than getting anything done.
The American people continue to thrive despite of their federal government. The American people continue to thrive
there's a
despite
lot of-
their federal government.
There's a lot of good work that the federal government does.
Yeah, and have they
I'd
done
say-
anything new lately? What have you done for me lately?
Well, I mean, there's like 5 million federal government employees, so it's hard to say who's done what for you lately, but they do shit. They're
Like what?
heavily involved in protecting the country from being blown up by crazy
Well,
people.
that we are adept at that. We are adept at that. I'll give you that. And there's shit that we
Well,
don't know
we're
about every day, I'm
working on
sure.
it. And we're pretty good at, you got to take care of people that can't take care of themselves. That's the thing that I want.
I agree with you.
I want that. And I also want health insurance to be a fucking right. Beyond that, I don't want anything else.
I mean, do you want health care to be a right or health insurance?
Well,
we're
I'm
talking
saying-
about two different things
No,
here.
health care.
You want health care. Health insurance and health care are two different things.
I'm not talking insurance. I hate insurance. To me, just the problem is if you go with single payer, then the government's running the healthcare industry.
But it's single payer. I mean,
then again-
doesn't seem like a bad way to go.
You get rid of a middleman,
So how much,
but on the flip side,
I don't think
you've got a middleman and some competition.
the only thing there is right. The only thing is with single payer, there's no competition. And we've found that, in the history of the world, that whenever there's no competition, it fucking fizzled out. So is it going to work? Although, hey, Canada's got the whole single payer thing, but that's for like 3 million people. 3 million people live in the greater Boston area.
30 million.
All right, whatever.
Canada.
Oh,
30,
they got
32
30 million? I'm sorry.
32 million
All right,
people.
so that's like New York, Boston, Washington, Philadelphia, Miami, and LA. I'm not even going to put Chicago. We've already got up to 30 million.
Yeah.
Canada's nothing. Canada is 1/10 the size It's bigger than the U.S. square mileage wise, but it's 1/10 the size of the U.S. population wise. We're talking about two different things. The math doesn't work the same way for whatever reason. You know what I mean? It doesn't work. What works for 30 million people in Canada or 10 million people in Sweden or 20 million people in the UK doesn't work for 330, 40, 50, whatever. We're going to be 400 million before we know it. You know what I mean? We're getting up there. It doesn't work. It's not an exponent. It's not like a factor of 2. It's not 2, 4, 8. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way.
What comes after 8?
I don't know. That's why I stopped. Speaking of like going way back with that shit, so that was going up. I'm gonna go back down. Earlier we got to Johnson.
I got a feeling you don't like Canada.
Listen, we got earlier we got back to Johnson, and so we were talking old money or not. I mean, there's different versions of not, but it seems like these guys are either fucking wealthy to start out or fucking destitute. There's no in between.
I like wealthy guys that want to take make sure that poor people get nothing.
Well, so
those are my favorite.
Listen, I'm going to get to 4 or 5 of these guys. Not that quick, I hope. All right, so we go from
I want to make sure them poor people fucking starve,
You remember who was before?
freeze.
Remember who was before Johnson? Kennedy, the epitome of old money.
Well, it wasn't really old money.
Of course.
Well, it started with Joe Kennedy. Old money is like,
Well, it's old money now, anyway.
old money is fucking, several generations. The guy that actually
Yeah, but it
founded
was
like,
enough. It was enough money in the generation previous to maybe qualify. So because it was massive, massive money. This was the guy who didn't Kennedy's father, Joe Sr. or whatever, make most of his money running fucking booze during Prohibition?
No.
What else did he do?
Joe Kennedy was a stock market guy.
Was he really?
Joe Kennedy. Did you realize that insider trading used to be legal?
I mean, it's,
Insider
Why
trading,
not?
meaning you go up and you say,
I think not only
So the-
illegal, but it goes on every day.
right. But you go up to some guy, some CEO, and you go, what's going on with your company? Well, we're going to do this in the next 3 weeks. And you go and you buy a fuckload of stock. And then
I mean, it seems like it would
that's
be.
where Joe Kennedy made his fortune.
What I'm saying is, it
And
seems
then
like
Joe
it's an essential
Kennedy
part of the business.
stopped insider trading.
Oh, he did, even though he made
That's where he
Joe
made
Kennedy.
most of his money.
He made most of his money and he stopped it. How's that? That's a
Well, he stopped it. Joe Kennedy was something over here. He was a diplomat, but he had some job.
well. He became a diplomat after he did all.
Well,
that
he was
shit.
he was the ambassador to Great Britain, and he thought that Hitler was wonderful.
because
He thought that they should go along with Hitler.
for why?
Probably because they wanted to kill all the Jews.
I don't think he was singling out the Jews.
Now those Kennedys, what a fucking crowd.
Why you think the whole the wicked Irish Catholic thing equals hating Jews?
Probably. A lot of people
Back
hate the
then,
Jews.
anyway.
Yeah.
The Jews have had it rough.
Telling you.
I mean, I've heard the whole Kennedy and hating Jews thing, but I mean, does that, stack up and equal what his fucking money making acumen was? I mean, is
I'm
what
pulling this out of my ass. Joe Kennedy was the ambassador around World War II to Great Britain, and Neville Chamberlain was the prime minister of Great Britain when they, and he's the guy that met with Hitler and said
ass.
he's not such a bad guy. And Winston Churchill was saying this guy's a fucking nightmare. Neville Chamberlain met with Hitler.
This guy's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, Neville Chamberlain was the prime minister of Great Britain before Winston Churchill, and Winston Churchill was the head of the Department of War, I believe, for Great Britain during the First World. Well, I could have this wrong. He either fought or headed the First World War. So Neville Chamberlain was doing the appeasement shit,
Yep.
and Churchill.
Peace in our time. Peace in our time.
And Churchill said, "This ain't gonna work. This guy's a fucking nightmare. He wants world domination," and he did.
Do you know how?
And Joe Kennedy, getting back to Joe Kennedy like left and came back and said something to the effect like either fuck him or or they should get along with Hitler, or maybe they should kill Hitler. I don't remember.
Do you think about ever, like I do, because my brain's always on fire, the fact that, 50 years plus of life leaves you with some fucking serious perspective that you didn't have when you were, obviously, a teenager or 20 or 30 or whatever. I think you start to gain perspective in your 30s. But how's this? Hitler was fucking gassing Jews less than 80 years ago.
I know.
Like 73 years ago. How old are you? So 73 years ago in 1944. That's
I was-
73 years ago.
I
How
was-
old are you? You're
I was-
53.
Yeah, 54. I was born 18 years after the war ended.
All right. So yeah, 18 years before you were born,
They were
people were getting gassed because they were
killing
Jewish.
Jews in concentration camps.
Doesn't that say something about the state of mankind?
Yeah, I think it does.
We're just pulling ourselves out of another dark age. I think 200, 300, 400, 1,000 years from now, and I believe there will still be man. I don't think we're going to blow the place up. They're going to look back at 2017 as a time when we're still trying to figure everything out.
Well, I believe
Fucking 1944 was not that long ago.
no, it wasn't.
You know?
And human beings are always going to be trying to figure shit out.
Well, of
'Cause
course.
that's what we do.
That's what we do.
Human beings are really good at self-torture.
Me being one of them, by
Yeah,
the way.
I mean,
I
there's a
torture
lot of-
myself on a daily basis,
There's a lot of
although a lot less lately.
self-awareness brings a lot of problems.
Yeah.
That's why, a lot of the animal kingdom works out pretty well because there's no self-awareness.
Yeah, you can't. You
Once you
continue
become self-aware,
you can,
things become fucked up.
You continue to compare us to the animal kingdom, and it's not comparable, and it has nothing to do with
we're
God.
animals.
Has nothing to do with God. It just has to do with natural selection. That's all it is. The strong survive for whatever reason,
Well,
and we just have survived.
thank God for you, Al, for being so certain.
I mean, it's bizarre that you're into the whole
You know what I find funny?
fucking God thing, and I'm not. Is what it's really.
Well, I'm
that's
not into
what's
the
really
whole God
bizarre.
thing. I don't,
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
are.
I'm not religious. I don't
Well,
pray.
listen, religious and the God thing have nothing to do with each other. Religious
I
is
just
for stupid people.
I believe
you're not
that
religious because you're smart. Religious people are stupid. You're stupid. You're stupid. All of you religious people are dumb. You're stupid. You're stupid.
There are a lot of religious people that happen to be stupid,
No,
but not
they're all
all
stupid.
religious people are stupid.
Yeah, they are. Yep, they're stupid because they're religious. They're stupid. They're stupid.
No, you can't say that.
No, well,
There's a lot of Jewish
Joe,
people
I'm
that
saying
are
it.
religious.
I mean, what do you mean I
They're not
can't say it?
stupid.
I'm saying it.
You can say it.
Are you
but it's
saying
not
I
true.
shouldn't say it?
You can say whatever you want.
You're
It's
stupid.
your opinion.
But it's my fucking know-how and knowledge and experience and ability to express myself. It has nothing to do with my opinion. If you believe that there is some fucking man in the sky who knows all and sees all,
And he seems to need a lot of money
yeah. Well, no.
constantly.
No, that's another thing. That's an institution. Shit, that's almost capitalism. I'm not blaming the church for fucking. I'm not blaming the church to make money. What I'm talking about.
No, I'm talking about all these
I'm not
organizations.
talking about the fucking Catholic Church,
All these-
which I was raised. I'm not talking about anybody. What
all
I'm
these
saying.
to
Go
be
ahead.
religious, you have to. God seems to need a lot of money. That's all I'm saying.
No, that's organized religion. That's organized religion. Well, maybe that's what I'm railing against. I don't know. I got a lot of new acquaintances who are, really into the whole Jesus thing. And shut up. I don't need you pointing out who they are. But let me just say I got a lot of new acquaintances who are into the Jesus thing and the God thing. And it's got me thinking maybe I should believe in God and Jesus because they drive a lot nicer cars than I do. You know what I mean? There's a lot of nice
You could
cars
become
over there.
a preacher.
No, I don't want. You know what? I probably would be a
Preacher Al.
decent. You know what? I would be a decent preacher.
You can get up there and if you send
You know
$10,
what? You know what? It's like this kind of a cult of Joe. This kind of a cult around you. You might be able to be a preacher too. You're kind of a natural leader. You're a leader of men.
I don't think so.
You are. You're a leader. You're a leader of men, man.
I don't want to be a leader.
Why? That's what you do. You lead. you direct, and you got at any given
not
time.
true.
Listen,
Makes me very uncomfortable
Can I point something out?
because I don't want to be a leader.
Listen.
Please don't follow me.
For a short period of time, I did what you did, and let's face it, I've tried a lot of similar things. That, you could match them up, but for a short period of time, I did what you did, and I believe that at any given time during the year, you write checks to 30 or 40 different fucking people
What? I don't
to
understand.
make shit happen, to get these houses built.
Well, yeah,
You're a leader.
You got to make a
lead.
few moves, but
But what I'm saying is
It's
you
like
got
it's
you
a
got
learned-
people depending on you,
it's a learned skill.
so you're
like
a
anything
leader.
else.
I'm telling you, you're a leader. You lead men. You're a leader of men.
Well, I don't have a a fucking any kind of a instrument, and people are following me.
Listen, what I'm saying is you're charismatic and you can do math. So
So I
you're
can do a
leader
little
of
bit
men.
of math, and
You're charismatic.
I think I can talk on this podcast okay, and I
Yeah,
love saying that someone else fucked someone in the ass.
Can I tell you
'Cause
what?
I just think it's really funny. It's not funny if it actually happened,
Can
but
I?
it's really funny to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what I mean? And I hope Charlie Sheen didn't fuck Corey Haim.
Oh no,
in the ass.
he fucked him in his mouth at the very least. He put his cock right in his mouth.
But Charlie Sheen's a disaster of a human being.
He's the worst type of human being.
but
He's the worst type of
and
human
I'm not
being.
saying because I don't know anything about it.
And a
I don't-
highly talented dude, very talented. I'll give him that.
and
He's
but
talented.
they keep paying him. He's a
Well, he's
highly,
done now. He's done.
He's a
done.
highly disturbed person, and they keep paying him.
He's done. He's done. And it doesn't
Why?
matter because he's got big money. He's probably got a couple $100 million in the bank.
Does he? Is he? I thought he still had a show. No,
I'm not going to say yes or no. I don't know. But
I mean after he went crazy,
I wouldn't
with
be
the,
surprised if he did or he didn't. So it doesn't matter. He's
went
got
crazy
a
with
lot of
the-
money.
with that fucking I don't know, 3.5 Men or 2.5 Men.
2.5 Men.
Never
A
watched.
great show. Great show.
And then he got some other show.
Yeah, and he did good. He got a lot of upfront money on that, from what I recall. But
And
it doesn't,
There you go.
So here's the other thing about we were kind of talking about your boy, fucking what's his name?
Judge Roy Moore,
Judge Roy Moore.
my boy.
And even though it's Virginia, which to me doesn't seem like that far south, but apparently it is.
No, Judge Roy Moore's from Alabama.
What I'm saying is another guy from the south, right? I'm sorry. He
What's Virginia got to do with it?
has nothing to do with it other than the fact
Has
that
the whiskey kicked in?
I'm vamping. But all right, so listen, we went down to Kennedy. Now we got Eisenhower before Kennedy. Old money, new money. Do you have any inclination what his dad was up to? I mean, he was a soldier. He was a soldier.
I don't know. But Ike is probably one of the most, in the top 5 most important men of the 20th century.
And why is that? Because of his because of his presidency, or
No.
because of his soldierhood?
Eisenhower was the supreme Allied commander
Yeah,
during
right.
World War II. Eisenhower made the decision to go, when D-Day was going to happen. And
But didn't Truman have to sign off on it?
nope,
He didn't.
Eisenhower decided when it was going to happen, and ran it, and that to me is one of the pivotal moments in history. This
Of
could have
the
gone either way.
humankind, not just the United
Well, yeah,
States, but of
the
humankind.
fucking world.
Yep.
This very well could have been, we could be sitting here with fucking, the swastika.
We could be speaking fucking German. We could be speaking German right now.
Right. So I mean, it's a that's a big deal.
Ich bin ein Berliner.
I don't know how Eisenhower was as a president, and I think that
Did 8 years.
yeah, and he also he did the well, actually it was his wife had more impact on this. He did the highway system.
Well, yeah. Which,
That was Eisenhower.
well, when you say national highway, do you mean was that the interstate system? or was
Interstate
that
highway system, yes.
which a lot of it needs redoing, but yeah, it's an interesting engineering feat of mankind.
Eisenhower was very impressed with the German Autobahn, which was a series of.
That existed before our interstate system.
Oh, yeah.
Autobahn? Did it really?
Oh yeah,
I bet. Did you ever drive the Autobahn? I have.
I haven't
Talk
been.
about the interstate system. We'll talk about that other shit. Hold on. I gotta pee.
The Autobahn was a way in which the Germans could move large amounts of people from one end of the country to the other, and that was
Pretty wide fucking road. I'll tell you right now.
yeah. This was a system of highways put together so you could, you can move people, but you can also move a lot of troops.
It's fucking wide, man.
Yeah, and it was done on purpose, and it was a big So the interstate highway system was spawned by Eisenhower's view of the Autobahn, and
I've been on few interstates as wide as the Autobahn. I'll tell you right now.
and Eisenhower's wife, I forget what she had something to do with the beautification of the interstate highways
Yeah, I think
system,
you're right.
which is why when you drive down the highway, there's a lot of fucking grass and flowers and shit like that.
It's definitely a really cool achievement. You know what I mean? The interstate system is great. I mean, I don't understand how
Unless
they number
you
that
believe-
shit. I tried to figure out. I know how they number shit, highways within each state, but I can't figure out why we have a 195 that goes from Wareham to Providence, Rhode Island, but then there's another road called 195 Interstate that goes in Long Island. Long Island is Interstate 195.
because there's a 95.
It's weird. It's just weird.
The interstate highway system works like this: when you end at an odd number, you're going north-south.
Oh, I know that.
Even numbers are east-west.
But how can Interstate 195?
195, if you have 95, which goes north-south, 195 also goes north-south, but is a loop road that exits off of 95, and then eventually
I get
returns
it,
to
but
95.
even like how, listen, there's two highway Route 3s, one with a circle around it and one with a square around it in Massachusetts. We got a Route 3 here with a square around it, and then up north, you know what I'm talking about? There's a Route 3 with a circle around it. It's fucking bizarre. You figured they would have figured out how to fucking make everything have a different number. But even the interstate system, there's a 195. There's another 295. There's another 395
yeah,
in
I
other
believe
places.
they go further out than the 195.
It's just weird how they number
So the
shit.
loop road.
You figured that some fucking math guy would have figured out how to call everything different at this point. You know what I mean?
Is that Sharpie you got on my table? You
No,
cunt?
listen.
I mean, I shouldn't use it.
No, I just need a little acetone. We got, you know what? I got some ideas. We need some other shit going on here, and I can't remember what it was, but I'll tell you about it, and you'll make it happen.
Toy?
No, you're in charge of the physical plant. I'm in charge of the fucking mechanical plant. Shit, I can't remember what.
Harvey
the fuck.
Weinstein was trying to get. He was trying to get fucking therapy records from the girls that he raped.
Yeah, we talked about that the other day.
We did?
Listen, fuck that.
it
So
must have
Eisenhower, did we figure out what his dad did?
No.
All right, so maybe we don't care. So before
I
him,
know.
now we got Truman before him. Truman was a politician for a living, and he became president, which is pretty cool.
No, I think Truman. Didn't Truman
He was
own
like
a
a
fucking
teacher or
grocery
something.
store?
Yeah, he was.
He owned a fucking hardware
Yeah, but he
store or
was,
something.
you know, but he worked his way up. He was like mayor, and then he was state rep, and then he was
Well,
state
that's how a lot of,
senator, and
you
then
know,
he
they
was
becomes-
fucking a U.S. congressman.
A lot of people do it that way.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't a senator. I think he was a U.S. congressman when he got elected, but he worked his way up. But Truman was a true lifetime politician. At the end of the day, so was Jack Kennedy, and so was Lyndon Johnson, and so was Richard Nixon. I don't know about Carter. Reagan did other things. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of lifetime politicians who became president. Franklin Roosevelt wasn't doing anything but being a congressman and then a senator, or he might have been governor at some point. These guys are all lifetime politicians. You know what I mean?
Not Trump.
Exactly. And that's why he's going to go to, and not George Washington either. He was never a politician. He was a soldier.
Like I
is why
said
Ike
earlier,
was cool,
you
too.
got to admit Trump's a lot of fun.
He's the best.
Now, especially, I get the biggest kick out of all these people, especially these Sunday show fucking assholes, and they're so worried about what this. You know, they're still saying he's just a loose cannon. He's off the fucking rails. You know, they are so nervous, and I don't know what they think he's going to do. What are they so nervous about?
Well, they think that he can't make a team and
Do
Make
they
a
think that he's going to
decision.
like send kids to, we're going to invade North Korea with
Listen.
ground troops?
again, we've done recent presidential history, and there's not a lot of
Wouldn't you be
There's
more?
not a lot of avowed capitalists in that class of recent presidents. He's an avowed capitalist, and that alarms people. But that doesn't mean the guy can't be an effective president. He makes it. It probably qualifies him to be an.
Wouldn't you be
effective
more
president.
alarmed if George W. Bush was going to have a third term? Because he would start a war
I know you
somewhere.
think. I know you think he was a war criminal. I think he did fine.
Him and Shane.
I think he did fine.
Oh, they're fucking definitely war criminals.
Yeah, that's fine. Whoever was in office would have been a war criminal because that's what they would have had to do at the time.
I don't think so.
Nobody
had to
how
do-
could it have been different?
Nobody had to do a
And by the way, if it was different, Trump wouldn't be president now. By the way, somebody else would be.
Look, I'm not going to go down that path, but
I mean,
he's a fucking war criminal.
why is that now?
Because we didn't need to
Remind me.
go into Iraq. There's no reason.
Yeah,
And it destabilized everything, and we got, 4,000 or 5,000 kids killed, and 5 times that number, because we're good at keeping
so
people
that makes him a
alive.
war criminal rather than.
Yeah.
He
fucking war
Listen,
criminal.
he fucking made a decision.
When you go
based
to
on-
war,
So you're saying he made a decision based on his finances or based on the fucking advice of his advisors around him?
well, I think Colin Powell was telling him not to go, and that's the one dude you should be listening to, not Dick Cheney.
So why do you think he made the decision? For some financial reason or for what? I mean,
Well,
why did he make the decision?
I'm gonna
If you're going to be mad at him for it, why did he make
I'm
the
not
decision?
mad. I'm just saying he's a war
You're
criminal
calling him a war criminal. That's pretty heavy duty, man.
because I believe
You're putting him in the same category as Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler, and fucking
Well, there are
Slobodan Milosevic.
there
whatever
are
the fuck his
degrees
name
of
is.
war
No,
criminality.
there isn't. You're either a war criminal or you're not a war criminal.
It ain't
You're-
all black and white, Al.
It's fucking black and white.
No, it's not.
fucking black and white. Are you a
No,
war
it's
criminal
not.
or are you not a war criminal?
So, listen.
You're telling me there's fucking shades of gray on the war criminal thing?
Well, Joseph Stalin killed somewhere around 20 million people.
War criminal.
That's a little different than killing,
War criminal.
say, 100,000 people. Wouldn't you agree?
No, it's the same thing. So
Really?
if you're telling, if you want to put,
I
it's the
think-
same thing.
Here's the thing that Dick Cheney and
I'm
George
going to put.
Bush did.
I'm going to say
Here's
if
what
you
they did.
kill anything more than
You shut up for a
5
second.
people, 5 people is
Shut
the
up for a
fucking-
second.
Okay.
They thought that they were going to go in and turn Iraq into a democracy.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
They thought they were gonna create some sort of fucking democracy in the heart of the Middle East, and it was
You think
gonna
they went to
spread.
bed that night that they made that decision and
Bet
they
your
said,
ass they did.
you know
Well,
what,
that's-
Iraq is going to be a democracy?
Well, it's going to be some sort of form of democracy, not maybe our form, but some. It's not going to be a dictatorship anymore.
Go ahead.
Okay?
You've already defeated your argument, but go ahead.
That's what they thought, and they went in on that. They went in on that idea, and it was and it's anyone that is an expert in that area would tell you then that that's fucking not happening.
Yeah.
So they had the information and it wasn't going to work, and they did it anyway. And then they sold it to the American people by saying that there's fucking weapons amid any of this.
No. Go ahead.
So I don't know, that's my opinion.
Well, you're heavy on your opinions, Joe.
Well, everybody's heavy on their opinions.
Especially me. All right, so from Truman, we go back to, so Truman was a grocery guy. I get a feeling that his family was not really poor. So then before that, so who we got before him? Roosevelt. Roosevelt, by definition, old money, right? Pretty sure. Or were they not old money
FDR.
then? Yeah, FDR.
I think he was.
Those guys always had money. I don't know what they made their money in, trains or some shit, steel. I mean, something. They were an old school fucking money family.
I am not a presidential historian.
Oh,
have
I am.
I
I
have
am.
no fucking idea.
Oh, really? I thought you liked that shit.
No. Well,
Presidential
I mean,
history and shit.
you got to read to understand that shit.
Hey, do you have a problem with the Confederate flag?
I don't think it should be flown over state capitals.
Did you hear that Mississippi took it off the state capitol today? They were
No,
the
but-
last. They have the last flag that has the Confederate flag in it. You know how they all worked it into it somehow. And they took it down today, and all the state universities and everything. They haven't, presented what their new
Well,
flag is going to be, but it was the last of a dying breed.
Well,
What do you think about symbols and shit like that?
I think the Confederate flag is a definite symbol for keeping slavery.
Keeping slavery.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, basically, look, the North and the South went to war against each other. The Confederate flag was the flag of the South.
Yeah.
If the South had won, the Confederate flag would have been flying, and there'd still be slaves.
Yeah.
So I think the Confederate flag, although it's part of history,
Yeah.
should not be flying over the State House.
So do you
Because
think they should be taking down all the statues of these guys and shit?
No, I don't agree with that.
So why the flag and not the statue?
Because the flag is the flag represents what the war was about. That was the Confederate flag says we're for slavery.
And that's what it was. I don't care what anyone says.
Right.
I'm a historian, and as much as you want to argue against it, that's what the war was about.
Now, there were some
Slavery or no slavery.
there were some great heroic people that fought in the Confederacy, and if you want to, have there's some war general or somebody that's on a
A
bronze,
lot of them were northern guys who were in it for the money, by the way. A lot of the guys in charge, anyway.
I think that's a part of history, and I don't think that you should be tearing it down. There's no like, I mean, if you go maybe with Grant,
A great president, too, by the way. A great general and a great president, albeit a drunk. And he died from drinking.
but you can't, nothing like the Confederate flag exists as far as unifying what the cause meant. And the cause was to not have the North tell us that we can't have slaves.
Right.
And that's what the deal was. So you don't want that. That flag is unrepresentative of the thoughts of a lot of Southerners, especially black people.
Non-representative, Alan.
So, yes, I think that that's the right move. Although you shouldn't abolish things, because then you don't want to, like, If somebody wants to put a Confederate flag on their car or something, they should be able to do it. You know, that's their
absolutely.
thing. As far as the statues, no, I think that's fairly stupid. I mean, unless there was some guy that was so fucking hideous.
Yeah, but there's not anyone like that. There's
No,
no
I'm
one in
sure
the
there was, like-
Confederacy who was Adolf Hitler. Or
There was probably Colonel
Stalin
something or other that, like, you know, he liked to put
No,
2
we're-
bullets into every
We're
black
talking about
person's
Robert
head
E.
that he saw.
Lee and Jeff Davis and guys like that. We're not talking, you know,
Yeah,
we're not talking, you know.
They're Americans.
Those
and-
guys-
and it's a fight, and
In their own way, they were patriots. You know what I mean? In their own way, they were patriots, you know. Not that I'm saying that, you know, I believed in
not that
everything
their
they believed
cause was
in.
just, but they
They
fought
believed their cause wasn't just, but they
they fought
justly
maybe
fought
an
in it.
honorable war.
they fought it honorably.
if that's some way to say it.
I believe that.
I don't know.
that they didn't call the Civil War. The war between the North and the South. The Great War was the. By the way, we're getting back to the Great War at the president's thing. So from Roosevelt, we go back to, I believe, Hoover, right? Wasn't it fucking Herbert Hoover? And he was like a fucking bureaucrat. He was actually a bureaucrat.
You're way out of my wheelhouse.
It doesn't matter. And then before him, I believe, was Wilson, who was president during World War One. He did the whole League of Nations thing. Before him was Coolidge, who was actually governor of Massachusetts. Did you know that? Calvin Coolidge was president president? No, governor. All right, so fuck that. I'm all done with that. I can go all the way back. You're clear.
Well, you got to go to Teddy Roosevelt if you're going to go that far.
All right, so before Coolidge was, you know what? I'm done. Chester A. Arthur, and then Teddy Roosevelt in between, and then Chester A. Arthur again, and then Garfield
now,
who got
Teddy-
shot.
Teddy
I got
Roosevelt
it. I got it.
Did some shit that should be done today.
Like what? What's that? What do you mean?
Teddy Roosevelt was a trust buster.
Meaning what?
No monopolies. Not going to be any fucking monopolies under my watch.
Yeah.
Because they
Well,
stifle competition.
Yeah, and then eventually the government is going to have to fucking buy him out, and that's all that.
The first thing that Teddy would do if he was president is break up Microsoft, which should be broken up
Do
immediately.
you think he would break up Facebook, which is probably getting up there
No,
with Microsoft now?
No, because it's not Microsoft has a monopoly in the operating system business. There's no question about it.
Why? There's a competitor. There's a competitor.
There's not
Apple
a
is their
competitor that's big
competitor.
enough.
So how many competitors? I mean, if there's at least
You have to have.
there's got to be
you have to
a
have-
competitor.
Look at oil companies. There's not that many of them, but there's competition, and there's equal size competition.
There's not many of them left. Is right. I mean,
But you have to
that's
have.
a bad business to
you
choose
can't
as a
com-
fucking example.
You are
by the
not
way.
going to compete against Microsoft. Nobody can.
Well, because they're the smartest. So what are you going to do?
No, they
so
got
you're
there
going to break them
first.
up, and then what? And then what? And then what? I
You
mean,
make the operating system. Now, that doesn't mean Bill Gates loses his money.
I don't give a fuck about Bill Gates. I'm
You know
talking
what I mean?
about
It
business
just-
and mankind.
It just means that maybe we get a better operating system. The reason why monopolies
They're
are
gonna
not
get
good
there. They're getting
is
there.
because it stifles competition, which stifles innovation.
The operating system you're looking for is when they put the chip in your head and you just move your eyes and it does what you need it to do.
No,
We're
I'd
getting
like something
there.
that
We're
doesn't
getting there.
take 4 hours to boot up.
Like
and
what?
has
What are you talking
7,000
about?
error
All you need is a
messages.
clean computer. You don't clean your computer, or you're doing bullshit. I got this little Windows 10 thing that you gave me, and
I stick my dick in my computer.
and the thing is beautiful. I think Windows 10
Maybe
is
that's-
beautiful. I said it earlier.
Maybe
I'm like,
there's something gumming up the works in my computer.
I was bummed when XP Pro went away, and I never had a Vista machine, although I did, borrow someone's machine that had it. And then certainly, I guess, is 7 after Vista? It was something between Vista and 7. Do you remember? I don't.
Vista before 7
Oh, Vista was between XP and 7. I'm trying to remember if I'm forgetting. XP Pro to me was really great, but I got to say,
XP was stable.
it was awesome. Well, it was definitely stable. It wasn't necessarily intuitive, but I think that the way they got it figured out now, 10 is it's pretty cool, man. 10 is almost perfect. Like fucking 7 sucked. I know I never had a machine with 8 on it, and I, fucking worked on it, but 8 was awful. 8 was not intuitive at all. 10, I had a little problem with its intuitiveness, but I think I get it now. I don't know where they're going to go after this. What I want from an operating system is for a moron like me to be able to figure it out without any problem. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes. Are you listening to me? I am. I got hired also because I insisted that I'm good with computers. I never had to prove it. I basically insisted that there is no computer program I cannot learn. You know what I mean? Because I don't think the computer programs are hard to learn. You somehow got the license for the craziest fucking engineering fucking program ever, CAD, right? All right, I take that back.
I bought a license,
dude. I will.
AutoCAD.
I'll delete. You want me to delete that? I know how to do it. I'll delete it.
No.
I'm sorry, buddy.
I bought a license.
But what I'm saying is that is by definition.
Here's the bottom line.
By
Bill
definition,
Gates
that's a great program.
Bill Gates should gargle my fucking balls.
Why is that? Why?
Because I've had to put up with all the shitty operating systems over the years.
Right.
And I didn't have a choice. They say, oh, well, you can go to Unix.
But
well,
why are you relying on
Unix.
Bill Gates to make you one? Why don't you make one? You know what I mean? So
it's a stupid thing to say.
No, it isn't. It's like...
I'm not a computer guy.
But I kind of agree with you. Listen,
you need a multi-billion-dollar company to compete with Microsoft.
Listen, they should have never got rid of XP Pro. But now that they got 10,
what they should do is
10
fucking broken up. They should have been broken up when they first.
By the way, they should
break them up.
You know what? I wonder.
Break them up.
I wonder if I fucking applied over there.
Bill Gates
to tell them why
gargle my balls.
I'm going to tell them why 10's not perfect. They think 10.
I have Windows 8.1 on.
10's not perfect, but it's good.
You want to talk about suck?
What do you have?
Windows 8.1
on what?
On the computer, right here.
I never owned a computer with 8 or Vista.
8.1 I have.
It's awful. It's
8.1 is fucking horrible.
I saw somebody shit with 8 on it, and I'm like, I'm waiting to get my next computer, motherfucker, because I don't want 8 at all. It's the worst.
They try to make it look like some sort of a cell phone. It's fucking horrible.
By the way, 7 fucking eats shit too. 10 is really good. 10 is good.
I've got 7 on a computer, and that's not too. It's not terrible.
It's serviceable.
At least it works.
It's serviceable and it's slightly intuitive. Now that I'm learning 10 on this beautiful, by the way, thank you, Joe, for buying me a really nice laptop with 10 in it. That's Dell. I love anything that says Dell on it. I don't know why. This is a nice computer. Thank you.
Well, you still haven't blown me or anything for it.
No, but
I'm still waiting for that.
But I'm saying thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
For providing me with the tools to make this fucking podcast happen. It's so much fun.
You know, I'm looking at it.
I got a gorgeous Dell computer to do a lot of work. There's a lot of work to get. It's a lot of work.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Thank you.
I'm looking at an illegal immigrant that's got a really nice set of tits. Mm-hmm. How about letting illegal immigrants in based on that they don't get fat and they have nice tits?
Yeah.
What do you think of that idea?
Listen, all I want to know, can you give me a little clarification on the Confederate flag thing again?
Say again. About what?
I need a little clarification. You think that the fucking Confederate flag equals love of slavery and racism, right?
Well, I believe that it's maybe it wasn't. I don't know what the Confederate flag was intended to mean when it was designed.
Well, it was meant to
But I
mean
believe-
this is how many fucking states we got, and
This is the flag of the Confederacy,
Yeah.
which fought against the North, the North was trying to get rid of slavery. So it is a direct representation of, if you fly the Confederate flag, then you are saying, and maybe you don't mean to say this because it's part of your history. Maybe it's just, hey, we always flew the Confederate flag. But it's saying to some people, hey, we still want this slavery shit going on.
I don't
So-
think they want slavery.
No,
Joe.
I don't know. There might be a few that want slavery.
Did you see me just score that with my left hand?
That was
that
good.
was a pretty impressive shot,
was
wasn't it?
good.
Left-handed,
into a
dude.
full trash can.
Left-handed,
by the
full
way.
trash, fucking crumpled up napkin with notes written on it. Left hand from a fucking crippled dude. Not bad. So listen, have you been paying attention to our president, Donald J. Trump? By the way, everybody, Donald Trump is president of the United States of America. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
We
love the
I didn't
Donald.
realize that we haven't had a president in South Korea in 25 years.
Oh, who visited there?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. South Korea is fucking. All right,
Yeah, but-
25 years. So what does that mean? Was it Clinton? It was Clinton.
I don't know. I guess it must have
1992.
been-
Oh, no.
Could have been HW.
Yeah, it had to be. If it was 22 years ago, that's 92. Clinton wasn't. He got elected in 92, but he wasn't serving till 93. So that means that 41, Poppy, the ass grabber,
Well, wait
was
a
the
minute.
last one.
1990 was 27 years ago. So 1992 is 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right. It's Poppy.
Poppy went over there.
So Poppy went
Sun
over there.
Yun King or whatever.
Trump has taken these North Korean, little rocket man, seriously.
Yep.
He's saying a little rocket man. We've about had enough of your shit.
Well, right.
And essentially what he's doing is he's not going to start a war. He's saying to the Chinese, get rid of this fucking guy. It's enough.
By the
It's
way,
enough bullshit it's enough with the fucking weird hair and the,
right.
it's enough.
Yeah. By the way, I don't want to interrupt your flow, but I just have to say it again. Donald Trump is the president of the United States of America.
I don't think Trump
How
can,
great is this fucking country?
Did you see Trump when he was outside? I don't know. This was a couple months ago, and he goes, "I'm the president." And then he said it again. He goes, "I'm the fucking." Like,
course
one of
he
his- he's like, "Can you believe it? I'm
Yeah.
the president."
Yeah.
And of course, there's a lot of people going, "Oh my!"
It
fucking
doesn't.
God,
You know
I
what?
can't
He
believe it."
should be the fucking president of the United States. He's the most driven man of the modern fucking world.
And he beat the fucking worst human being alive.
Right. Absolutely.
The most dishonest, corrupt,
who fucking
awful fucking human being
who
ever.
sucks more than Hillary? Seriously, who sucks more than Hillary?
Paul Pot,
Who? Oh well, yeah. No, I mean
Adolf Hitler.
No, currently alive. Currently alive.
Man, it's hot.
She might be the most despicable person alive.
I believe she is.
I mean, who's more despicable? Some people certainly Hillary supporters might want to say that.
You ever see a Hillary supporter?
Hold on.
These
They
starry-eyed
might want to say
fucking
that
lunatic.
Putin is more despicable, but I don't think Putin's that despicable. Why is he that despicable? He's not mowing down fucking people. He's just
Compared to Hillary, no.
he just knows how.
Hillary,
Here's the thing: Vladimir Putin has had less people killed than Hillary Clinton has.
bet your ass.
You know what I mean?
And if she was president, there'd be a lot more people dying.
Oh yeah.
Guarantee that whore would have started a war by now.
Oh yeah. I mean,
She's an evil fuck.
Yeah, and she doesn't look.
I've said this on like every podcast too.
No, you haven't.
She's
You
an
skipped
evil,
one. You
she's
skipped
an
one.
evil-
Go.
She's fucking Satan. She really is. She's Satan.
Yeah.
She should be fucking killed.
Yeah, no, she's the fucking
really
worst,
should.
man. I mean,
One of those Secret
Again.
Service guys ought to stand up, do what's right for your country, and shoot that whore
I'm
right
starting
in the
to
fucking
think.
head.
You know how I don't believe in the whole God thing and everything. I'm starting to think that Hillary, there's some supernatural thing going on. It's like no matter what, she just sticks around. She's like the devil. She's the devil. She's the devil.
She can't seem to
leave.
get fucking arrested.
I mean, it's like she's unfucking touchable. She just the reason why she sticks around is we need someone the opposite.
She's like a fat fucking hot air balloon that keeps floating around. That's like Mr. I'm telling you, she's like the fucking Mr. Magoo.
By the way, she's the very opposite of Donald J. Trump. She just is, and that's why.
Fucking loser.
And that's why
She's a
she
loser.
And Donald's a winner.
Right.
There you go.
Always
so,
has been.
So you're talking
She's a
about
loser.
180 degrees difference. Hillary's a loser. You hear me? You hear me?
She's a loser.
Do you hear me, sister-in-law? Hillary's a loser. You hear me? Brother, Hillary's a loser.
Hillary should goggle my fucking balls.
It doesn't even...
Well, I wouldn't put my balls in Hillary's mouth.
Donald J. Trump is a winner.
And I'm telling you,
that's why he is president
coveted
of the
thing,
United
you know,
States.
Al. Having my balls in your mouth.
Why is that coveted?
I don't know. There's just a lot of people that seem to want that.
It fucking seems like it probably ain't going to take up that much effort.
Certainly
You know
not
what
going
I
to
mean?
take up a lot of space.
So anyway, it turns out
You
that
could probably still eat dinner with my balls in your mouth.
listen, it turns out that the fucking Asian people love Donald Trump.
Of course they fucking do. They
Have you
love
seen
Trump.
that shit? You know what? Why don't we have the TV on ever? We got a big ass 40-inch or whatever over there.
Don't pay any attention.
It turns out that the Asian people love Donald, including
Trump's- He's fun.
he's not just fun. He's common sense. It's
And he's,
common sense.
He's kind of happy too.
CS,
you ever notice that
common
Trump's
sense.
always like in a good mood? You know?
Well, I mean, I'm sure he's in a good mood because he's got a bill in the bank. You know what I mean? He's president
in
of
a-
the United States. He's the most powerful man in the fucking planet.
He's very optimistic.
He might be the most powerful man in the history of the planet. If you want to think about that, who's more powerful than Donald J. Trump in the history of the planet?
Well, he certainly has.
Who's more powerful, Julius Caesar? No, he was in charge of less fucking square footage. I'll tell you that.
Well, there weren't that many people.
Well, I'm talking square footage. I'm not. I don't want to talk
and you
about
couldn't
people.
get on an
Talk
airplane.
Square footage, acreage.
Genghis Khan.
No, I don't think so. I think Donald J. Trump is the most fucking powerful man in the history of the universe.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Trump just fucking horsewhipped 17 people to become the nominee.
You need a beer?
No. 'Cause
Coke?
We're going to wrap this
No,
up.
we're not.
I'm going to bed.
No, you got a good 15 minutes left. You gotta work with me, baby. Work with me.
And what was I talking about?
We were talking about Trump.
He horsewhipped 17 people, and then he beat the fat pig. And you got to hand it to him. That's fucking something. That's an accomplishment.
I mean, yeah. Well, anybody who gets. I mean,
here's a sad thing.
as much as we didn't like his presidency, you got to hand it to Barack Obama and his fucking people who helped him get elected. That was a perfect presidential campaign.
Well, he's an
Doesn't have
incredible
anything to do with
guy
politics.
too. He's an incredible speaker.
Yeah. I mean, he's.
I don't think he
amazing.
was a good president, but he's an incredible speaker.
I mean,
And I think he's a decent man.
he's a decent human being.
Unlike Hillary, who's
Terrible
not
president.
a decent human being.
No,
She's a fucking horror show.
Yeah, not only is
She's an evil.
not only was
Her
Hillary
and
Clinton-
Bill.
Not
They
only-
are the evilest pair of fucking satanic. I guarantee they have rituals. They're fucking. They would They'd kill their grandkid.
I don't know about rituals, Joe.
They'd burn fucking. I mean, they would blowtorch Chelsea's head right off.
All right,
if,
listen.
If that could guarantee her to win, they would have done it.
What do you mean guarantee her to win? Oh, you mean
Like, if, the devil came down and said, all you got to do is grab Chelsea and blowtorch her fucking head off.
they might have done
They
it?
would have. Oh, not
No
mine.
might about it.
They'd be fucking over there in a heartbeat.
Well, we've always said that Hillary Clinton would definitely crush her fucking grandmother's fucking head under her own heel to get to that fucking
Just, she'd do anything.
anything and say anything. Hey, I know you got to get out of here, but I don't want to lose this one. I think this is a funny one. I wanted to talk about this the other day, but we'll just bring it up. There's a cat named Roy Halladay. He was a fucking Major League Baseball fucking superstar. Maybe a fucking Hall of Famer.
Roy Halladay?
Halladay. And he fucking perished in
I think I saw
an experimental aircraft. Doesn't it seem like all these guys who die in experimental aircraft? It's like,
Well, one of the
if
one
you're
of the
gonna-
Walmart heirs died in like a fucking ultralight plane.
yeah, it's like, I mean,
it's just a bad idea.
it's almost like this. Like in my line of business, anytime you hear the word decorator, you got a headache. Anytime you hear experimental aircraft, you're fucking in for a headache. You know what I mean? You're gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, basically, some of these fucking, it's just a big kite with a motor on it.
It's
And you're flying around on the fucking thing, and the wind blows the wrong way, and you're dead.
you're basically inviting death.
Yeah.
I mean,
My favorite is, did you see the guy that he got a bunch of weather balloons? Now, talk about a fucking plan. Listen to this. Guy gets a bunch of weather balloons. He attaches them to a fucking outdoor chair, a patio chair, like the old-fashioned time, the ones that fold up.
yeah.
Okay,
I know what you're talking about.
fills a bunch of weather balloons with helium, enough so that it's taking him up. And the way he lowered himself back down as he brought a shotgun and started shooting the fucking balloons. And then, now he did it a few times.
Sounds
and
like
it actually
standard
worked.
operating procedure.
It actually worked. But one time he shot too many balloons on the wrong side. Like he fell out of the fucking chair and died. So there's a lot of people doing some crazy shit out there.
All right, listen, buddy. Look at me. I love you.
Love you too.
And again, this is the most fun you can have without taking your clothes off. It might be
What do you
more
mean?
fun.
My
It might
pants
be
are
fun.
off right now.
Oh, as long as you leave your pants off and your top on. What I'm saying is this show is better than sex, man. I'm having a lot of fun.
Well,
man.
we'll get opinions about that, but
No. For
it's
me,
been a lot of
I'm
fun.
saying
This is show number 10 out.
for me.
We
it's-
hit double digits today.
Listen, it feels like it's show number 100. I'm not going to lie. This is the best.
It's a lot of fun, isn't it?
You know what? And even if nobody ever listens,
Which they're not.
I have committed to this project for 2 years. That's
Don't
a
tell
long
them
time.
that.
No, I'm telling you.
Yes.
That's a long time.
2 years is good.
I will do this for 2 years with you.
Or until if one of us dies.
And then what are we going to do then, though? What are we
Well,
going to do then?
if it really takes off, we'll keep doing it.
No, I'm saying, like, what if you die next week? What happens? By the way, we've talked about this a lot, and, wave me off if you want me to stop. Have you made a fucking will?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Are you lying to me?
Yes.
You are lying. You've never made a fucking will.
You
Will you please?
plenty of time for that.
Joe, you're
Hey.
the second or third smartest person I know.
I just
will you
saw
please make
Judge
a will?
Roy Moore
Yeah, go ahead. You're an asshole. Go ahead.
just sucked 4 black people's cocks in the parking lot of the courthouse.
I mean, who hasn't?
Well, Judge
know what I
Moore,
mean?
I don't know. That might hurt his campaign. I don't think the 10 Commandments would approve of that.
Hey, can you
Hey,
imagine? Listen, I know you're getting out of here. Listen, can you imagine?
I'm Joe. He's Al.
Shut
We're
up.
kind of right. We're fucking leaving.
Give me 10 seconds.
All right, go ahead.
Can you imagine if we end
I
up?
believe Al might be drunk.
Can you imagine if we actually end up being able to do this for a living?
Well, stranger things have happened, Al.
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, it would be pretty strange. If,
Look at the Kardashians are making money.
well, they got nice asses and
Oh, no,
pretty
they're
faces and money.
fucking-
You and I are schmuggies.
I don't even think we're whores.
You and I are like two red-faced white guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nope. Nobody needs to fucking.
Probably fucking wicked,
I mean,
racist and everything.
I mean,
too.
maybe they want to listen to us, but they definitely don't want to look at us. I'm pretty sure I want to look at all them Kardashian ladies. You know.
No. They should be killed.
All right, listen. My name is Al. His name is Joe. Together we are kind of right, and we're going to see you next time. All right, buddy? You got anything
Next
to say?
time. We're going to do next time. Stay cool. Try not to assault any women.
That's why I do all the talking. You're not good at the fucking beginning and ending.
No, I don't know what to say. See you later, fuckers.
I love you, Joe.
Later.